It's Madden NFL 22 on EA Sports, where division rivals will clash in the AFC North. It's the Steelers and the Bengals, and it comes your way next.
Well, I tell you what, we have an absolutely perfect Midwestern afternoon for football, and EA Sports brings you coverage of the NFL from Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. This crowd loves their orange and black. The scene just a short time ago, they were in full roar as their guys marched out of the locker room. We're ready for football as the Bengals get set to do battle with Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. CD, everybody loves to see the deep ball. We know that. We got a couple of quarterbacks here who can really sling it. Ben Roethlisberger of the Steelers, Joe Burrow of the Bengals.
I like your point there, partner, because it is back in vogue. And what I mean is taking the shots downfield, because for a long time in this league, it was all about precision passing, the West Coast offense. But now we've got a couple of guys here who'll take some shots downfield, and they have some receivers who can go get it.
Get us started now, the kicker Chris Boswell, and we are underway from Cincinnati. To return it, Darius Phillips, and he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Time to see this Bengals offense here as they get set for their first drive, and under center, of course, is the #1 pick in the 2020 draft, now in year number 2, Joe Burrow.
And what a rookie season he had indeed. A knee injury knocked him out in Week 11 at Washington. And while the Bengals only won 2 of his 10 starts, I think everyone around the league and anyone who watched the NFL came away impressed. 13 touchdowns, just 5 interceptions, nearly 270 yards a game passing, the 3rd most by a rookie in NFL history.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
But sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv, and you run into a tough crowd.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now Burrow. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
I didn't like the look of that play right from the beginning. I thought he should have seen the coverage that was there, tried to force it in. That one, he's fortunate, just fell incomplete.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Here's Burrow. This is caught. It's Boyd. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Burrow will throw.
There's the rookie from LSU. It's Jamar Chase.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Joe Burrow in year number 2, moving around pretty good considering the seriousness of his injury last year. If you're a defensive coordinator here, what do you try to do to slow Joe Burrow down?
I think you want him to be in rhythm. I think you want him to be on time. And normally, you want to take that away from a quarterback, make him hold it a little bit longer. But when he has a chance to maneuver around the pocket, sometimes get out of it, big plays result. I want him throwing the ball on time and then tackling the receivers so there's no extra yardage. As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon.
Shedding through the defense. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. And this is going to be incomplete. The Steeler defense locked in, forcing an upcoming 4th down.
That was well defended. They clamped down on every available receiver. Just got to give the win to the defense on that snap.
McPherson's kick is good.
And the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
Here's McPherson now to send it away. Ray McLeod to return. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
Let's go. Let's do this.
Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. We'll check on his status when we get back.
Do that again. There we go, baby. There we go. All over here.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
From the 30 on 2nd down, Roethlisberger keeps himself upright. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Well, that wasn't a completion, but it wasn't a sack either. So the good takeaway, able to extend the life of the play. Normally, you would think he'd just take off and run downfield, but he was trying to find an open receiver, unable to do so.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Now Roethlisberger. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that will be incomplete. They weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
On fourth down, the rookie Presley Harvin on to punt for the Steelers.
As he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Now they go play action now. Burrow. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
That was a nice job defensively of disguising their coverage and making it difficult for the quarterback to lock in on a receiver, and it results in an incomplete pass.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Now it's Burrow. And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him. Chris Wormley. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
So on 4th down, on comes the left-footed punter, Kevin Huber, to punt it away.
Ray McLeod deep for Pittsburgh.
So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. And let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll start on the ground with Harris. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
4 yards remain for 2nd down.
They go play action with Roethlisberger. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Sam Hubbard making his presence felt in the backfield.
So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
And it appears that this was just a letdown from the offensive line, but they do have a tough job because if you're a big tackle out there on the perimeter, sometimes you don't have the agility to keep up with the defensive end who's looking to wreak havoc in the backfield, and he got there and put his man on the ground.
Under pressure, and they got to him again. Sam Hubbard picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
3rd and long, you knew that he was going to throw it. He just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, there shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That 5th defensive back, the extra defender, He really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
The Steelers send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Take it at the 37. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and that will come the offense as they take over. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10.
Just shy of midfield at the 48. Now it's Burrow.
Trying to get it to Chase, but it's intercepted.
Picked up by Akello Witherspoon.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. They're still in search of an initial 1st down as they come up here 1st and 10. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for 2nd down.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and make sure nothing could get to the outside. But he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
The first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Roethlisberger will throw.
A throw left side, caught by the tight end Freiermuth.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up 1st downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
Boswell's kick is good, and that will tie us at 3-3. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away.
Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. Joe Burrow and the Bengals set to go back on offense.
And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here 1st and 10
at their 25-yard line.
He'll hand it off here. This is Mixon.
And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Mixon on the toss right. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. He's going to loft one. Deep left side here. A leap, and he's got it. He got it. And he takes it down deep into Pittsburgh territory.
If there was one knock on Joe Burrow coming out of LSU, it was arm strength, but kind of put those doubts to rest right there.
And you'd think on 3rd down they'd just be looking for something right beyond the sticks. And I think they caught the defense flat-footed as a result because they decided they were going to take a shot right there, and it ended up being a big play.
And the final number on that throw, boy, it traveled an even 69 yards.
From the red zone now, here's Burrow, 1st down. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Burrow looking to pass. Dancing to his left. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the 1st down marker. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
Here we go.
Out of the gun, it's Burrow. He's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. C.J. Uzomah there to make the grab. And the Bengals have taken the lead. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6.
Evan McPherson now for the PAT.
And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. So that drive 6 plays, 75 yards. And it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. McLeod now on the return. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15. And the Steelers set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 15. They'll start the drive with Harris. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
The job of any linebacker involves having enough strength to fight off a blocker and get the ball carriers. But in this case, I think we can safely say he beat him right off the snap to get into the backfield and make that play.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. Here's Roethlisberger. It's brought in by Harris. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
My teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game? That's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a first down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Roethlisberger. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
And the hitch route is run really well. That jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space. All you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage. And that's exactly what he got done there.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. On the give, this is Harris. DJ Reader there on the tackle. .3 our score after 1 here on EA Sports. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2 as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. They hand this off to Harris. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive. And once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
The Steelers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 8. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down as his Cincy defense stands up on 3rd. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. That was perfect. From distance, he steps up, knocks it right down Main Street.
Yeah, Main Street's celebrating right now with him, aren't they? I love the mechanics of the whole thing. Snap, hold, everything was right on target, and the blocking was perfect, and he executed so well.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. On the return, Phillips.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
Let's go, baby.
Here again comes Joe Burrow and the offense for the Bengals.
He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep two eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting two hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Burrow. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
Roethlisberger on the draw. It's Harris.
And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
When the 4-3 defense is functioning really well, you know he stays what we call clean and no one gets to him. The guy playing the middle linebacker position, the guy we call Mike, that means the defensive front is eating up all the blocks and just let him go to the football and make a play.
2nd and 9.
Now it's Roethlisberger.
Throw left side, taken in by Claypool.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
A 3rd field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. Roethlisberger under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Sam Hubbard getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
So not only do you not get the first down, but you've also made things a lot more difficult on your field goal kicker.
Yeah, they're still in range, but you're exactly right because you know the kicker's over there saying, thanks a lot, you just made my job a little tougher because when he kicks it now, he'll kick it lower because he's got to get more distance. That means there's more jeopardy for the ball to get tipped or blocked.
And Boswell's kick is good. And that gets him back within a single point. It's now 10-9. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because you know after the sack there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away.
Here comes Darius Phillips out of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
The Bengals getting set to go.
Bengals with a 1st and 10
at their own 15.
11.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. He can rack up those tackles in bunches in the run game from that middle linebacker spot.
And what he has to do is make sure he congratulates the guys in front and tells them thanks a lot, because as the guy in the middle, the Mike linebacker, you're counting on your front 3, your front 4, your front 5, whatever you've got in front of you to take up all the blocking, allow you to roam and hit, and that's what he did on that play.
9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
You can see the time, effort, and thought that they've put into their passing game, because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he picks up the 1st before he's taken down at the 29. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
They will throw on 1st down with Burrow. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
And when you've already thrown 2 interceptions, you got to take extra special care of the football, because that one could very easily have been a 3rd.
Yeah, off balance, pressure coming. Probably just has to stick that one in his pocket, right?
He does. I just think that when he's in a rut like this, I think this happens to a lot of quarterbacks, they try and overcome it by making big-time throws. Throws they know they shouldn't make, but they're hoping to complete them rather than having the confidence that they actually will.
2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus, and indeed, he gets enough for the 1st down.
A pair of 1st downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44. They go back to the ground now with Mixon. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. Well, let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down.
And not able to break away this time, as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
This defense has really flown around in the 1st half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
And the Bengals on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 9. Now Burrow. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the 1st half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
Punting now is Huber as he sends it away. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Steelers are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. We focus our attention now on the quarterback Ben Roethlisberger. And this defense, they came prepared. He's probably going to be seeing them in his sleep if they don't fix things quickly.
And that's not exactly what he wants to see in his post-game slumber. So they've got to figure out a way to slow things down a little bit. Some screen passes, some draws, anything to make the defensive front hesitate a little bit. Think on their way back to the quarterback, maybe even a quarterback draw, some type of tendency breaker to change things up.
Exactly. Whatever the case, something to mix it up here. Off the play fake. Here's Roethlisberger.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
And a lot of being a defender is being able to learn what you can and can't get away with when in man coverage. In this case, he got away with it and helped pop that ball free.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. That is incomplete.
One of the best routes, one of the favorite routes of any play caller. He just ran that nice little angle route. That's supposed to be a catch, and usually it is in running back drop down.
Yeah, I mean, he's a running back, but he's got hands. He should have caught it. The Steelers on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 10. Now Roethlisberger to throw. He gets it complete to Harris. And they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of the first, right around the 15. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
The key to any screen play is all in the deception. That means everyone on the offensive side of the ball. But someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
The Steelers send out their punter now, standing just about on his own goal line. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Throwing now, Burrow on 1st down. Being chased out left. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Here we go. 180. 20 shot. 55.
Burrow will throw. Open man is Uzama. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45.
Partner, took a while for him to lock onto a receiver, and he finally found his man coming left to right across the formation. But by the time he got the ball to him, not much of a chance to turn upfield and make anything out of it.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Burrow. He'll air this one out for Boyd. And that is incomplete.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Here's Kevin Huber now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory.
Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense.
The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. They go play action now. Roethlisberger. Throw left side, going to be taken in by Harris. Not much there, only a yard. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Roethlisberger. Throw left side complete. That's Harris. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler 1st down.
Well, I like the play design there. They occupied the defense downfield, everyone trying to account for someone. But unfortunately, they didn't account for the running back slipping out of the backfield, and he was absolutely unnoticed and wound up getting big yards on that play.
Play action. Now Roethlisberger.
Open man, that's the tight end Freiermuth.
And all the way inside the 35 before he goes out of bounds.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? The guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field, pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route, well run, and the football, right on the money.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now Harris. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Powers through, finding room to the 20. And he's all the way down to the 13-yard line. So not his arm, but hurting him with his legs. A gain of 19 on the keeper and a 1st down.
Well, when you've got a quarterback like this dead to rights, you got to make sure to wrap up. Instead, though, he breaks free and off he goes.
And defensively, you're going to have some guys with hands on hips looking to the heavens right now. You've got a fairly clean shot at the quarterback here, but he's able to worm his way out of that initial contact. And not only that, he's able to hot-foot it downfield for good yardage.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
On the ground, it's Harris. Running right through him. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Play action. It's Roethlisberger. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. He finds his man, complete. It's Harris. And the tackle made at the 13. He is well short of the 1st. Boswell's kick is good. And they take the lead here by 2, 12-10. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away.
Here comes Darius Phillips out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Cincinnati's offense coming back here onto the field.
And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Now Burrow on first down.
This goes out wide for Mixon.
And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Now Burrow loses the football.
And it looks like Steeler football. It is!
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him.
The Steelers taking over now late in this first half.
Well, what a break here. Turnover late in this first half, and now they're set up in field goal range already.
With a chance to get more. So what you're telling your unit as they go out onto the field is very simply this. We've got 3 in our hip pocket. Don't jeopardize that. But let's attack and go for the big one here. Let's go get 6 and give ourselves a chance to really feel good going into the half.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Roethlisberger. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now Roethlisberger.
Right side, Claypool's got it.
The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And Boswell's kick is good. And that's going to up the lead to 15-10. So it's another field goal here. He may need to ice his leg after this one. That's now 5 field goals converted in this game alone.
Yeah, get the trainer. They're going to need this guy. And they've needed every single one of the field goals he's made, too. If they're going to get out of here with a win, I say he gets a game ball.
And for the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away.
Here comes Darius Phillips out of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Joe Mixon and the Bengal offense ready to go back to work.
He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. Burrow looking to pass. That's caught by his tight end, Uzomah. There he goes, right side. And he takes it down deep into Pittsburgh territory. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Now it's Burrow. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. But tapping those toes, he tried to get both in bounds. He could not do it, though.
In tap dance parlance, could not complete the shuffle. All right, needed to get that shuffle down with both feet, not just one.
Is that what they say?
There it is. You know, put a little sand down on the stage.
And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half.
So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide because that's prime pick 6 territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who was going to catch it was sitting in the 3rd row.
McPherson's kick is good.
And the lead is cut to 2 now. It's 15-13.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
So time enough for a kickoff here. 5 seconds remaining in this first half. Returning from his end zone is Ray McCloud. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
So time perhaps for one final kneel down before they take this lead to the locker room. He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First up, though, let's take a look at the next-gen stats from the first half for the Steelers. And it was a tricky half to figure out numbers-wise. They've got the lead, but you'd figure they're definitely talking about ways to get this passing game back on track. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, they were much more successful throwing the football than their counterparts, as you can see the numbers there.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. Returning from his end zone is Ray McCloud.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. We focus our attention now on the quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger. What can they do now, Charles, to make sure this highlight montage doesn't continue to show more pressure and pressure and pressure?
You feel like it always comes back to leverage, don't you? Who is going to win that battle of the offensive and defensive lines? Low man wins. We talk about that, but we think about it in a running game. Well, guess what? The same thing happens when you're trying to pass protect. Are you low? Are you balanced? Are you in a position where the pass rush won't bowl you over on their way back to the quarterback? They've got to reestablish that in order to try and keep their man upright.
Because they have been bowled over a lot so far in this one.
They turn to Harris to begin the drive. It's Logan Wilson there to bring him down.
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. Oh, now Harris lost it. It's a fumble, and the Bengals grab it. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
So turnovers, Charles, you figure will be key in the second half, and that's a big giveaway there.
Yeah, and as you and I both know, coaches are always preaching ball security, and none more often than right here in the second half of a tight football game. Now you've got to believe what the coaches are saying and take care of that football.
So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half.
And their defense did its job, forcing the takeaway there to start the half, and now can the offense follow suit?
And you'd better believe that one side of the ball feeds off the work of the other, so they'll want to come out, establish some rhythm, and go down and take the lead.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that challenge, a successful one. So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down.
To throw here, Roethlisberger.
Able to hit his target, Claypool.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
The Steelers send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him. Cameron Hayward able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
That's his 2nd sack of the game. The best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. From the gun, a give to Mixon. And just not a ton of room to work with. He'll get it to the 15 for a gain of 2.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
He'll drop this one down to Mixon.
Powering forward. And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. 5 yards, not enough. And it'll be 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Here's Kevin Huber now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game. 1st and 10 here.
And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Again, it's Harris on 2nd down.
And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Third and 2. Now Roethlisberger.
Quick completion here to Johnson. And he will have a Steelers first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3.
That was simply snap, rock, and fire. I mean, they didn't take long at all. Slant route, and I loved where he put it. He put on the body of the receiver low so that only he can catch it.
Yeah, I don't think there was any magical formula there. Defensively, that's just tough to defend.
Very much so, and that way it allows the receiver to keep his body in front of the defender and not allow him to go through him to knock the ball away.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down.
But you got to think that sooner or later, they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
2nd and 10.
Here's Roethlisberger.
Completion here to Claypool.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Can you do any more work or make it more dramatic for not much gain than what we just saw there? Did you see how his toes got down? Tip, tap, got him down. But what did he get out of it?
He sold the sizzle. He just had no steak.
I mean, was it 1 yard?
Yeah, plays like that, you at least expect a first down. They're just 1 yard. They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd. Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. He's going to look deep down the field. This is caught inside the 15. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. And that one results in 35 yards.
They're still looking for their first touchdown of the game, and for a second, I thought they had it right there.
Looking on the sideline, it's finally good to see nods of approval as a welcome sign of life that this offense needed. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They run the counter. Harris. And he'll manage to break a tackle and get this forward for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential, but when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Now it's Roethlisberger. And in for the Steelers touchdown.
Pat Freiermuth
from 4 yards out. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And that makes it a 9-point game. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. On the return, Phillips. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside of 15 as he's dropped at the 14. Cincinnati set to take over once again. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10
at their own 14-yard line. Now it's Burrow. And he's going to be brought down back at his own 6-yard line. Cameron Hayward able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his third sack of the afternoon.
It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football, CD. That's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
Let's go.
After the sack on first down, Burrow. He will find his man Chase complete. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for third down.
That's a good bounce back play right there after taking a sack on first down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him. Cameron Hayward. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational, CD. That is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? Well, let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
Here's Kevin Huber now, standing just outside his own goal line. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger heading back out there. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the 1 touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this 3rd and 4th quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
Now Ben hit, and he lost the football. It's loose.
That's right. Get off the tracks, baby. Get off the train tracks.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
Get me. Let's go. Let's go.
So danger averted for the moment, but now here's a 3rd and long.
Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Under pressure, they got him again. Trey Hendrickson picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
And you get the feeling, Charles, yeah, he's got the 2 sacks now, but he may get more here. He's still got a quarter and then some to go.
And the way that he is playing this game, it reminds me of one of the best golfers in the world who can use every club in the bag and make a great shot. That's what he's doing with his pass rush moves right now, showing a little bit of everything. They have no way of stopping him.
The Steelers send out their punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10
at the 34.
Check 93's the mic. 93's the mic. Let's go.
They're passing here. Joe Burrow. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
So 2nd and 10, third quarter. Thanks for tagging along with us here from the Queen City of Cincinnati. Now Burrow. Dumps it off to Mixon. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him. T.J. Watt able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage, well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
Here's Kevin Huber now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger marches onto the field. How do you break down his game so far? Just the 1 touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't, not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now it's Roethlisberger. Trying to lay one up deep. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Here's Harris. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on third down. Roethlisberger will throw. He gets it complete to Harris. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. They went backwards 5 yards there on third down to bring up 4th. The Steelers send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Cincinnati, as it looks like we are just about set and ready to begin with the 4th.
The Steelers send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field.
Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a two-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. Here's Burrow.
Now Burrow loses the football.
And it looks like Steeler football. It is. The defense, they were swarming that time and ultimately got to him before he could get rid of the football and knocked it free.
And don't you feel just a little bit of sympathy for him back there, though? So much going on, so much swirling around. He's trying to find someone downfield. He's trying to move around to find an open target. Sometimes you forget the number one thing, take care of the football.
Now a 1st down carry for Harris. Heck of a broken tackle, but only able to work this down near the 23. Jesse Bates made the tackle from his safety spot.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there, and I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory, and as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think he may want to keep them cranking high right here.
A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. On 3rd and 1, it's Roethlisberger toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the 1st down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
And on 3rd down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. Boswell's kick is good, and that will give them a 12-point lead.
So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist, but time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away.
Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. The Bengals set to take over.
And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10.
At their own 25-yard line.
And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's 2nd down now.
I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was a type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted. And if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Burrow will throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his second drop of the game. On third down, Burrow. And now another one thrown incomplete. I don't know, he had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
The mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
You got to stay with it.
That's true. Here's Kevin Huber now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. 35 yards that time on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Pittsburgh offense making their way back out. They've got a chance now to put this game away following that last defensive stop and punt.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. A handoff to Harris to begin the drive. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll run again with Harris. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he's got the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 49.
50 yards for him on the ground now on that, his 20th carry of the ball game.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation when they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Now they'll throw it with Roethlisberger.
That swung out wide to Harris.
Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. 6 yards on the pickup, and it's a 2nd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Roethlisberger. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
They'll throw on 1st down with Roethlisberger.
He's got his tight end Freiermuth over the middle.
A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. Play action. It's Roethlisberger. It's brought in by Harris. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a 1st.
That's a pretty play there coming out of the backfield, but as that back, you've got to be conscious of making sure you're securing the football. When you get out in open field, sometimes you get a little loose with it as you're trying to get up ahead of steam. Make sure you keep it close to your body because those defenders are trying to punch it free. He does a nice job there protecting the ball and picking up a first down.
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. The Clemson product, DJ Reader, got in for the sack.
He seemed to have a reasonable amount of time in the pocket, but he couldn't get rid of the football, and the end result, Charles, him on the ground.
Yeah, he's got to keep an internal clock to go along with his offensive line. When you're talking about 3, 4, 5 seconds, that's a reasonable amount of time to expect to deliver the ball downfield. So great to try and complete a pass, but it's equally important to know when to throw the football away, too.
On second down now, it's Harris. Give him 6 on the run. They're going to be faced now with a 3rd and 12.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
He finds his man, complete. That's Harris. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively, and the key to any screenplay is space to work, and there was none to be found there, and they tackle him for just a short gain.
And Boswell's kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So an important one there as they widen their lead in this 4th quarter.
All right, partner, help me out with the math here. Make sure I am on point because the way I see it, the other guys still need 2 touchdowns, but in addition, a 2-point conversion. So this is all about them playing perfect football from here on out.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away.
On the return, Phillips. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Joe Burrow trots out again with the rest of his offense.
So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again.
First down. Here's Burrow. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
To throw again on second down. Burrow.
Now Burrow loses the football.
But I think a Bengal player was able to get in there. He was. And they'll keep possession of the football.
Fortunate to get that football back because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity because it could have been lost there, their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
The good news, they kept the ball. Bad news, it's 3rd and long.
11 Thomas. 11 Mighty. 11
Now it's Burrow. Hit as he throws. He lost the football. It's loose. And it looks like Steeler football. It is.
Brandon, that's the third time he's fumbled so far in this game. And, you know, you can make excuses for each and every one of them, but the bottom line is he's got to take care of it better. And now that he's shown a propensity for fumbling it, just think about what the defenders are trying to do.
Yeah, well, guys hate one fumble, twos, oh, my goodness, 3 or more. Wow.
Just doesn't make any sense, does it?
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Roethlisberger. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Sam Hubbard, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really, really turning in an incredible performance. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Another try after the first down sack. Roethlisberger. Oh, he stays up.
Open man, that's the tight end Freiermuth.
Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Finding Harris over the middle. And he'll only get this to the 14 as he'll come up well short of the first down. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
Boswell's kick is good. And that will make this now an 18-point ball game.
So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
Well, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away.
Here comes Darius Phillips out of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10
at their own 15. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. To Mixon on the check down. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. They're giving those short little routes, tackled him in bounds too. They're just not wanting to get beat over the top.
Yeah, and if you can't really get downfield, take the short routes. But now you got to have guys who can actually break tackles and increase those gains.
To throw again on 2nd down.
Burrow. This goes out wide from Mixon.
And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Check, 93's the mic, 93's the mic.
Burrow on third down. And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him. Cameron Hayward, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really, really turning in an incredible performance.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. 4th and goal, and down by a touchdown. The offense stays on the field. Here we go. It's Burrow on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Here's Roethlisberger. Complete. It's Johnson. 7 yards, the pickup there. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. On 2nd down, this is Harris. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
50 Mike, 50
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you. It's just me and you. 57 Mike.
On 2nd down, it's Harris, and he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Najee Harris taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Steelers capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Boswell for the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it was the rookie, Najee Harris, who finished it off with a touchdown run. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. On the return, Phillips. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. Now Burrow on first down. He's going to let it fly.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Burrow looking to pass. He completes it to Boyd. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. And how about the dime look here? 6 DBs on 3rd and inches.
Daring them to run the ball.
12, 11.
Out of the gun, it's Burrow. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Here's Kevin Huber now, as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. So a change of possession here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
44.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.